Singers, I have a question for you. Do you have a wish list of goal songs that you aren't able to sing, but that you hope to someday be able to figure out? I want to introduce you to me. I am Katti Power. I am a vocal health expert, a performance coach, an author, and I have spent the past 20 plus years helping performers achieve amazing goals that they set for themselves, all without ever losing their voices. And a few weeks ago, I introduced you to the 3 obstacles that I hear singers facing all the time when they don't have a coach in their corner. The first obstacle that we talked about was difficulty picking the right songs for themselves. And then last week, we talked about the tendency to sabotage your own goals and then settle for less when the going gets tough. So today, we are tackling the third obstacle, which is feeling limited in the songs that you're able to sing. If you're already like, oh my God, that's me, I feel limited by my songs, and you know what? Those other 2 obstacles you mentioned, I have those too. So if that's you, I would love to talk to you about my academy or working with me privately if that's a better fit for you. Either way, I'd love to have a conversation with you about what your obstacles are that you are facing and give you a plan for how you can overcome them. So I want to share with you also, I have been in a 5-week case study called Power Up with Total Vocal Health. And on Monday, we wrapped it up with a celebration call, and I cannot wait to share with you the powerful results that this group experienced in the past 5 weeks. So to put it in perspective a little bit, all 8 of the singers in the group felt extremely limited in their singing. So this topic that we're talking about today, in a vocal health capacity, they all felt very limited in their singing prior to participating in this case study. We had, for example, singers who would feel fatigued or lose their voice toward the end of a song or towards the end of a set. We had singers who would pass on singing a whole list of songs because they knew just one of those songs would result in feeling fatigued or losing their voices. And we even had a couple of singers who were moments away from giving up on singing altogether, because the limitations on what they could do were so frustrating and heartbreaking that they were just ready to let go of singing altogether. So I'm going to give you a sneak peek of one participant in particular. Now, this gal is a superstar, and I will confess that she is someone that I've wanted to work with for quite some time. So I was really thrilled that she joined the case study. And like I said, on Monday, we had a celebration call in order to share our victories and also what we intended to do next now that we have sort of released and wiped out these limitations. Well, this gal eagerly turned on her camera and volunteered to go first. She piped up and like, I'll go. So in the case study, I had asked each of them to pick a song to work on during the case study because I wanted them to be able to see and feel progress over the course of the study using one song. So this gal picked a big, scary goal song of hers. And in her share on Monday, she said that the reason she picked that particular song was because it scared her and she'd never been able to sing the big held out note in it before. And she just knew that if she could sing that huge note, if she could nail that, then it would blow everyone out of the water in her competitive singing. But what she shared on Monday was that the discovery she made in our case study, which happened pretty early on, was that once she was not only able to hit the note, but to sing it with ease and hold it for the full duration and not feel any kind of vocal health issues whatsoever, that the song wasn't really as difficult or as impressive as she previously thought. She said she realized that that big note in the song is really all that it has to offer, and that otherwise it's a pretty boring song. Do you hear that transformation? I mean, she went from knowing that this song was her key to blowing people away in competition. If she could just figure out how to sing that big note. She went from that to suddenly mastering the song and thinking it was boring. That's a huge difference, right? She decided that she's moving forward, going to aim higher and harder in her song choices now that she has these new superpowers, now that she can do things that she couldn't do before. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about today. And if you want to experience what she experienced, then we need to get you in my calendar to have a conversation about what the best fit is for you. I'm going to direct you to a page that's going to tell you about my academy, but either way, it's going to lead you to my calendars to have a conversation with me so we can figure out what is going to be the best solution for you. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about limitations in the songs you're able to sing. Extremely frustrating, right? So, I don't know about where you are, but here in Vegas, the housing market is nuts. It's insane. And I feel pretty confident just from talking with family that it's happening everywhere, because two different people in my family received letters. They're in very different states, received letters from their prospective buyers in order to help them choose who to sell their house to. And one of them offered to pay like $5,000 over the asking price or something crazy like that. Now that's definitely a new level. And I am someone who's looking for a new home, and as a newly divorced woman with a variety of limitations as a result, the options for me are pretty grim right now. And as cutthroat as the housing market is here right now, I have to be able to compete with buyers who can pay in full in cash, or who have outstanding credit and finances, or I have to settle for a lot less than I want, and probably settle for paying a lot more than I want to pay. Doesn't that sound fun? Well, the reason I'm talking about that is because it's the same thing with singers who attempt to achieve goals without the support of a coach. So, if a singer who's not my client had to pay me $1 every time they said out loud that they can't sing a certain song or a certain style or a certain role, I would easily be a millionaire by now. And I could pay for my dream home in cash, right? So many singers, here's what just kills me. So many singers are perfectly content to live within their limitations. You know that's not required, right? You know you can get to the other side of those. Singers are perfectly fine to stay in their bubbles of safety, oblivious to the opportunities available to them if they took a step outside these limitations. That's exactly what this gal did that I was talking about in my case study. She took a step and tried something different. She tried getting the support of someone who knew how to fix this issue she was having. And look at the dramatic shift that she had. This is a real possibility for you. And she's not the only one. Every single person in there had something like this. Staying within your limitations, it's so heartbreaking to me because it's unnecessary. So please know this. Some tough love here. If you have big goals for your singing and you're not working with a coach to achieve them, you are basically telling the world that you don't really intend to achieve those goals, that you don't believe that that's for you. You're broadcasting that you don't believe you can achieve them. I have never, in my 20 plus years as a vocal coach, had a client say to me that they wished they hadn't learned how to do more than they ever thought they could with their voices. It's never happened. Most singers who work with me walk away able to sing songs they couldn't touch before working with me. Most, not every once in a while, most singers. Why? Because my primary goal as your coach is to make sure that my singers aren't dealing with limitations of any kind. Whatever goal it is that they wish to achieve, my goal is to empower them with the tools that they need to eliminate all the obstacles in their way, all the limitations keeping them from that goal. It's really hard to do that on your own. It's really hard to do it without a coach in your corner supporting you. Like we talked about before, when you don't have a coach, it's very tempting to lower your goals so you never achieve them. If you have limitations in what you can do in your singing, how are you going to overcome them without someone else helping you to do that? Because if you knew on your own the things you need to do or the person you need to become in order to overcome those limitations, if you knew on your own what those answers were, don't you think you would have done it by now? You wouldn't still be in this place of struggle. So the way to the other side is to get support. And I would love to be the person to support you to do that. If that's something that you want, if you're ready to stop the struggle, if you're ready to stop throwing spaghetti on the wall and hoping something sticks, if you're ready to stop doing the same thing over and over and over again and hoping for a different result, then let's get you in my calendar. I want to get a conversation in the books. My academy, I was just telling my case study about this. My academy is like, it's one of my favorite things that I do. It's one of the best places for you to be as a singer. It is a group program that has a lot of high touch, personal one-on-one access to me and access to answers that are customized for you. Inside a group program, that is not normal. Most group programs are very cookie cutter and everyone does it together and there's no individual support. This group program has that built in. So let me tell you how it works in case you're curious. So in the academy, it's a year-long membership to an incredible community and a ton of resources. And every single month, we have a workshop. And it's not just me teaching and everybody else is just there taking notes. It's a workshop. We work together. So everyone gets a chance to try things out in the class, ask questions, a workshop at the beginning of every month on a new topic. But we don't just stop there. It's not the kind of class where I teach something, you learn, you hope you figure it out, and then you're on your way. No, because then you have the rest of the month. We have a private Facebook community where you have the ability to ask for feedback in unlimited quantities. You can post recordings of yourself trying this out. You can ask questions in the group, either way, and get my feedback in unlimited quantities. There's a place every single week for you to post questions or videos for feedback. And I go in there and I watch what it is that you've presented and I give you critique and feedback. And it doesn't end there. Then at the end of the month, we have a masterclass. Now, in the singing world, a masterclass is very different than it is everywhere else. So in the singing world, a masterclass is where you get the opportunity to bring what you're working on to my attention and ask questions, get live feedback. So during the month, you have the opportunity to do it in a more video kind of setting where at the end of the month, every month, you have an opportunity to get live individual coaching from me on whatever it is you're working on. Whether it's related to the topic that we're studying that month or not, it doesn't matter. It can be anything. That's pretty amazing in a group program to get all of that, all of those touch points in a group program. If you're not able to make the live classes, everything's recorded. So there's an entire anthology that has every class that I've ever taught the Academy, as well as all the other stuff I've taught in a video format. So you can go in there and study other things. If you're not interested in what we're working on right now, you can go study something else and still participate and get the feedback that you desire in the confines of the Academy. It's amazing. And it doesn't end there, because this community, I say this all the time and I know you probably think I'm nuts, but this community is unbelievable and everyone in it will attest to that. They are the most supportive people out there. And it doesn't matter if you are running for office, if you are in a competition that needs votes, if you're auditioning for something and the audience feedback doesn't matter whatsoever. It doesn't matter if you are scared to death and you have to sing in front of people. These people have your back. These people are so encouraging and wonderful and supportive. because you're all on the same journey together towards getting better at this thing called singing. So I would love to have you in that academy. And if that's not for you, I also have private coaching available. And we can talk about whatever's going to be the best fit for you. So go to that link if you want to check out the academy. Either way, it's going to direct you to my calendar so we can have a conversation. I would love to do that. If you're ready to just jump straight into the conversation, you can do that too at getmypowerup.com. But let's talk. I want to help you. Limitations are not a requirement as a singer. You can make them all go away. All right? So let's figure out how to do that. Have a fantastic day. Let me know below if you have questions or comments. I would love to talk to you about this. All right. Have a great rest of your week, everyone.